Hi, folks. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, when or wherever you may be. This is my second video about the House Foreign Affairs Committee of the United States interview to Mr. Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State of the United States. And today we are going to watch a video where we will be able to glimpse a bit about the character of the man himself. Before we even talk about it, I would like to watch the video with you and then we will talk, as always. Let's watch.
Thank you, Secretary Rubio. Representative Kamalagadov.
So, Mr. Secretary, 5 months ago, you essentially became the new overlord of Venezuela, taking control of the country's oil revenues and giving foreign companies access to its oil and minerals. But you have provided no real transparency about where the money is going and who is benefiting from this arrangement. I want to now talk a little bit about Mauricio Claver Carone. So, Mr. Secretary, you've known Mr. Claver Carone for many years, correct?
I don't know how many years, but sure.
Okay. We know that he was special envoy to Latin America. He's also a former lobbyist who supported your presidential campaign, I think in 2016. And now he runs a private equity firm that is seeking $1 billion in investments in Latin America. Apparently, he is seen as your right-hand man on Venezuela. But he's not a federal employee, and he's not bound by rules about financial disclosures or conflict of interest. According to the Washington Post, he acts like a kingmaker in Venezuela, helping to determine which private companies get contracts and access. And that's concerning because in January, you gave confidential licenses for Venezuelan oil to a company that had been charged with bribery by the Department of Justice and employs a trader who gave $6 million to Trump's campaign. Some have said that Mauricio is the Jared Kushner of Latin America, but Mauricio has said that Jared Kushner is the Mauricio of the Middle East. So who is Mauricio, and why is he riding on private jets to Caracas with executives from firms trying to get contracts? And why is he texting Delcy Rodriguez on the regular? Who is he working for?
Okay.
I'm gonna allow you to respond. I'm setting this up because it looks unseemly that essentially you are taking Venezuelan oil money and sending it through a network of campaign donors, corrupt politicians,
That's
and
false.
lobbyists, and we can't get any documentation on that. We don't have any receipts. So the question is anyone from the administration, directly or indirectly, benefiting from the contracts being doled out in Venezuela?
Is this where I get to answer?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Number one is the number of people. Mauricio is one of many people that are involved in what's happening in Venezuela. There's not a day that goes by that we don't have someone who's interested in what's happening in Venezuela for a variety of reasons. Nor is he the only person in the United States that directly contacts Delcy Rodriguez and others. There is a stampede of people that want to be involved in Venezuela. Mauricio is one of many, but by the way, not involved in Venezuela. I am not knowledgeable or know of any financial links he has to anybody in Venezuela.
So I'm going to reclaim my time, Mr. Secretary,
Well,
but I'm glad that you said that. Because you have said these things, you have shared these talking points before.
They're not talking points, they're the truth.
But it is hard to take your word for it when this is the most corrupt administration in American history.
Well, that's
we're
your
talking
opinion.
pardons for sale. We're talking about no-bid contracts to those on Trump's family and friends plan. We're talking about a $1.8 billion slush fund. And I think that's corruption. The American people think that's corruption. They want to know if you think that's corruption.
Okay. Number two, this goes right to the point of transparency. You're absolutely wrong about the way the money flows. It's pretty straightforward, and I'll share.
So I'm going to have to reclaim my time again because the
what kind
question
of process
about
is this? They get to ask questions and you don't get to answer?
It's my time. The question
I don't know
about
about you. When
corruption
is it
is
my
really
time?
important.
So why am I here if I don't get to answer your questions or your defamatory statements?
I'm reclaiming my time,
Reclaim.
Mr.
I want
Chair.
you to, but I want to reclaim. Well, do I get time? Because you
is
make
my
these
time,
defamatory
Mr. Chair.
statements and no one can talk here.
If
This
you
is crazy.
can't call out corruption in this country, then how can you call it out in another
Well, I can't say
country?
anything because you won't let me speak.
That is the question. It is about credibility and your credibility And your credibility meter is on empty right now. This
See,
oil.
these guys
who
just get to talk and I don't get to
who
answer?
determines the barrels of oil that get
Why-
sold? How
but you
many
won't
of
let me
them?
answer
At
your
what
question. I
price
have an
does it
answer
get
for your
sold?
question.
Where is it
Oh,
going?
I get it.
will
They
let
have to
you.
use their time for me to answer
The
your
onus
question.
is on you to
a
prove
joke.
that there is no corruption happening.
Well, how do I
That is
prove it if
your
you don't let me talk?
responsibility as the Secretary of State. And you know what? Normally, we would have access to that data. That's the
You do. You
transparency.
just don't know where to
But you're
look.
not showing us any receipt. Well, then show us.
But-
Do
but
you
you won't.
commit? Do you commit to coming back here with whoever the person is who is monitoring the sales of the oil? Bring them before this committee.
Can I
Show the
reclaim my
receipts.
time?
Have the documentation. You don't have this time yet. I am talking about your credibility and evidence, not your talking points, because talking points are never a replacement for transparency
agree,
and
but that's what you're saying. You're saying
documentation.
talking
And
points
we
without an
have not-
answer.
We are 5 months into this and no audits. Zero visibility into the
100%
contracts that are
false.
awarded.
100%
Zero
false.
Unfortunately,
transparency about where the
Representative's
money
time has
is
expired.
going.
Representative Salazar is recognized.
And giving contracts with no transparency
Can I
is
borrow your
exactly the
time to
reason why
answer?
you shut down USAID. So practice what you preach. I yield my
Oh, she gets to scream now too? Scream
Chairman,
and
can we
shout.
take down her words?
I'll give you some time. I'll give
Yeah.
you some of my time. Let me just
Okay.
just
But God,
change
what
the
kind of thing
energy.
is this? What is this? You get asked questions for 5 minutes and you don't get time to answer? It's not a hearing.
I think you said clown
Like
show
a dunk
before.
tank?
I
What
don't,
is
I
this?
don't have to tell you. I don't. I'll
I've
give
even
you
used
ti-
their time. How can I answer the question? They don't even give me time. I've had to use their time to answer your questions.
Yes.
All right, whatever.
All right, so I don't need to tell you that in my community, the city that I represent, the city of Miami, you're one of the most illustrious representatives, and that we're very proud of you, not only the Cuban Americans, but the Hispanic Americans in my
Why is she
community.
leaving? I'm
So
going to answer her questions.
I will.
Oh, she's going. Okay, I got it. Well, thank you for coming.
All right, so we're going to talk about, I just want to give you time to answer and then talk about Venezuela and talk about Cuba. So let's go back to Venezuela. Let's start with that. You said that stabilization, recovery, and transition. Those are the 3 steps that the State Department was going to implement in Venezuela. I believe that transition is the free and fair elections. The Venezuelan has a very robust opposition forces. We have Maria Corina Machado. So
Let me just breathe in deep, carefully, before I start to talk about this. Let's start by the end. By the way, I'm just holding one of my little tokens. This is an old wooden rosary that my mom gave it to me, and I sometimes like to hold it, and it helps me to keep my thoughts in check, so that I don't go off into my usual rants. Now, it is disgusting the way that the last lady to speak groveled before Mr. Marco Rubio. Marco Rubio is not illustrious anything. I'm sorry to say. Again, this is my opinion. You are free to have your own. Marco Rubio sold his soul to have a position in this administration. Apparently, he's the new favorite of the emperor, and he is doing his job quite efficiently. I find the way that he spoke to the lady that was interviewing him disgusting. And if he truly had a Catholic, Cuban, or Hispanic education, it is not at all that different from a Portuguese or Spanish type of education. And if you don't know this, a lot of Americans don't know this, a lot of people that are not from this culture don't know this, um, it is considered a sign of weakness to use force or coercion to, quoting, submit a woman to your will. Uh, in my culture, a man that needs to use strength and coercion or even violence to submit a woman to do whatever he wants her to do, even sexually, is considered a weak man. I was taught this when I was a kid, and I have taught it to my nephews, and it's still a saying in my society, in which if a man uses violence to coerce a woman to be by his side, then that man is a weakling. I have never done it in any time in my life, and that is not a cause for me to not have the companionship of women. I'm not particularly pretty. I'm not particularly wealthy, not at all, good God. And yet, I had never had any kinds of issues in that field, because maybe I treat women as I would like to be treated, with education, with politeness, and with the notion that a woman is a human being just like you. Okay, she's not some kind of exterior puppet for your desires. And I'm not a feminist, not at all, any of all those things. I think labels are very demeaning of our own condition as human beings, but I was taught this way. I was taught to consider people equals, not, and to put myself in the other person's shoes. Like my dad told me, before you open your mouth to criticize, first listen to what the other person is saying, put yourself in their shoes, and then shut up and listen. A simple truth, but one that makes your life much easier and less emotional. Because, everyone has a reason to act in a certain way. Now, the way that he interacted with the lady, with the, in her position that she was doing her job, the way that he interacted with her was absolutely disgusting. It's the only one I can. He was mocking it clearly. You don't see his face, but you hear his voice. And he was using the fact that perhaps she was already offended with him to rise the emotion out of her. In that sense, she should have remained calmer and just be cold about it. But, like I said, I'm not in her shoes. I don't know what is behind what her words, and I understand that she is frustrated, because the truth is that all that she said is happening. I listen to it here in the news in Europe every day. Where is the Venezuelan oil money going to? Who is taking over business? Who is running Venezuela anyway? We all have the same questions. And then I think this: what about the people of Venezuela? Those are the ones that I care about. The civilians, the mothers, the fathers, the sons, the daughters, the people that are working and living every day. And I did not hear one word of consideration to those people from the Trump administration. They do not care about people. They do not care about their interests. They only care about making money with oil, making money with the exploitation of Venezuela. Just like before, when the United States would topple governments that were not that were not under their control or their direct influence, let's call it like this, Trump is trying to recreate that. And people in South America are, and with reason, angry about it. I would be angry about it too. I would rebel about it too. I would not sit idly by while the United States comes in, sucks the wealth out of my country, doesn't give a shit about my country, myself, or my people, and then parades around the world like if they were this righteous knight in shining armor. It is not righteous. It never was, but at least it could keep the appearance of being righteous. But right now, I look at this, I look at the behavior of this man right here before a commission that should be official, that should be the representation of the correct functioning of the state, and all I see is this theater of apparent appearances, of futilities, of lies that, like Goebbels said, if you repeat a lie long enough, people will start to believe in you. It's the same logic. It's the same signs of fascism. It's the same size. It's the same site of authoritarian regimes. This is just like Russia when they call the invasion and the brutal aggression against Ukraine as a special military operation. It's the same. And it saddens me that the United States has gone this path. A lot of people criticize me that I perhaps sometimes don't think about the people of America, but I will ask you this question. Do you think I would be making these videos if I did not care about the people of the United States? Do you think the people that always say that you are always right, that they are your friends? Or don't you think your friend is that person that tells you that you are not doing the right thing, that you should act a different way, that you should talk a different way, that you cannot hurt people, that you cannot do this? To me, I have few friends, very few people that I can call friends, that I would stop what I'm doing right now and go and help them. I can count them in the fingers of my hands. But at least I know those are friends. Sometimes, you want to know what? Sometimes it's better to be alone than to have such friends. But I see no hope for the United States. Whatever comes after this, the damage is done. But you let me know what you think in the comment section. Folks, thank you very much for watching this video. Thank you for coming and for clicking. Again, remember please, like I said in previous videos, and I was talking about this, this video is not monetized. The link for the original video will be available in the description. I ask you please to go and watch the video in its source, to go and give them a like, give them a view, even subscribe to their contents if you like what they do. And I hope to catch you all in the next video. Okay, stay safe, folks.